How's it going? I've got a video for you here. This time it's going to be a review of Fantom X. So here he is. I'm going to start out with just overall appearance. I think they did a great job. I like the look. Secondly, as you can see, he's got his coat, but they didn't put the sleeves on there. So the nice thing is you can actually take this jacket off. And when you take the jacket off, he still has, all the paint apps and everything on his actual body. So I like it. What you can see on the back there, he's got nice, detail with the paint. It's not sloppy. They put a lot of attention to the details. For instance, let me pop his head off here. You can see on his head, you notice how it has kind of that leathery look on his head there. So it looks like it's an actual mask. And you can see like the lines like it would be like if it was actually leather. They did a really good job, on his face. If you can see that there, you can see like the outline where his mouth and his nose and his chin are at. So, and I have to say, I'm pleased with the one that I've got. There was 2 packs that they had there, so there's 2 of the Fantom X, and they did a really good job. The paint was spot on. I didn't see any major problems or anything else with them. The downside to this figure is on his guns. His hands hold the gun very well. The only thing with it is because his hand is at an angle down, you have to pull his elbows up. Otherwise, if you extend his arm straight out, if you try to extend it straight out like that, then look where he's pointing. It's pointing down. So what you have to do is just elevate his arm to where it's higher like this. You can still extend it out, but you just have to raise it up. So he's just shooting higher. I'd like to say more of like maybe a headshot, but it still looks really good. Let me put his head back on here. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you. They've been spot on with head articulation on this figure because it's on this ball joint, and the peg that it's on, or the ball joint that it's on, goes all the way down and all the way up and all the way to the back. So the range of motion for this figure in his head is pretty much awesome. If they pretty much use the same concept for every figure, I don't think that they can go wrong, especially when he can look all the way up and then he can look all the way down. So he does have double jointed elbows that you can see there. He's got a swivel at the wrist, and his wrist will bend in and out. So aside from that, he does have a nice ab crunch. The ab crunch that he has, he can go a decent ways down because he's got his jacket on. Let's see if I can get him there. But you can see right there that his head is actually looking what would be straight, but because of that ab crunch, it looks like he's looking down. If I pull his head all the way up, it looks like he's kind of looking at you, so he can be in like a hunched over position or some type of dynamic pose if that's what you want to do. Next thing is he does have double jointed knees, and he's got some articulation in the heel, goes all the way up and all the way back. One thing that they failed to do on this guy though is give him a nice ankle pivot. There's no ankle pivot. His guns fit nicely into his holsters. They even have like a leathery type look to them. I don't know if you can see that or not. And the only other thing that I think I don't really like is that on his belt, the belt that he has, doesn't move. You can't take it off. I mean, he doesn't really need to have it taken off, but still, it would be nice if you could maybe do that. So on his overall look, I'm going to give him a 10. On his articulation, I'm going to give him a 9.5. The only thing about a 9.5. The only thing that would make this better is maybe if they fix that hand to where, you know, he could hold it straight instead of pointing down. And the second thing would be his ankle. He doesn't have an ankle pivot or a rocker on it. As far as his accessories and attention to detail, he's going to get a 10. The reason why he's going to get a 10 is, you know, the paint app is spot on. Instead of, you know, cutting corners, because he has the jacket on with the detail and everything on the jacket that he has, they took the time to actually paint the figure, which I could take the jacket off, but I'm not going to. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I mean, even on the belt, I don't know if you can see that or not, but, you know, there's no paint splotches or anything else. You know, there's no bleeding. And the other figure that I saw, there wasn't any bleeding. So out of the figures that I've seen so far, this is, I mean, he's pretty nice. And I know some people are excited to have this figure, but it's not like the top of their list. A lot of people are wanting, you know, Daken the Unmasked, and then they want, you know, Spider-Man. Spider-Man doesn't come with any accessories, doesn't have any guns, doesn't have a cool, you know, jacket or anything else. Granted, his, you know, paint is pretty much the same colors, and, you know, it's spot on, but I think this guy is going to be a little bit better. And the other thing that I didn't say about his paint, I don't know if you can see that or not, even though his paint is white, in it there's just a little hints of, like, you know, a darker black just to highlight some of the muscles. It's real faint, just like on his arms. I don't know if you can see or not, but there is just a slightly darker paint in there. So it's real subtle, but I think they did a good job. So overall for this figure, you know, with everything together, he has like a 9.7 out of a 10. So out of a possible 10 that he could get all around, and he's going to be a 9.7. I think that's pretty good, and so far he's got the highest rating for any figure that I have. He's not my favorite character. He's not even the most, you know, or best known character, but as far as what they did with this guy and how they made him, I'm going to say I'm not disappointed at all. So I think that, you know, he has my highest rating, and, you know, a lot of people are biased because of a character that's their favorite character. Not my favorite character, but, you know, they did a good job. So when you factor in everything that they did and everything they did wrong, to me, he has the highest rating, and that's why he's going to have a 9.7 out of 10. I'm going to do a review of Daken Unmasked, and then I'm going to do, you know, a review of Future Foundation Spider-Man, and probably Thunderball and Pile Driver. But right now, he's going to be the first one that I'm going to show you guys. I've already reviewed the other guys, and like I said, you know, they didn't rank quite as high, but that's my review for you guys on him. The only other thing that I did want to show you was something that I got in the mail today. So I needed some more of the Sentinel figures from, or not Sentinel figures, but the Marvel Legend figures to build the Sentinel. So I got in the variant version of Cyclops. So this one comes with the hand. I don't know if you can see that or not, but pretty much he's got the arm and the hand to the Sentinel. So you can see he's got a lot of good paint detail on him. So I actually like this version better than the yellow and blue version. It's kind of just the old school Cyclops, and, you know, what their costume used to be. So I don't know if I'll open this guy up. And these are the other figures that you need to actually complete the Sentinel. So now I have, you know, a lot of these other guys. Some of them I'm probably going to opening up if I need to build the Sentinel, but I need another Panther, Mr. Sinister, and a Spider-Man. So if you guys have any of those, let me know. Aside from that, you know, one more look at 360 of this guy, so you guys can get a good look. If anybody's looking for him, I'm gonna probably pick up another one of him for sure to have on card. Maybe even get another one for a custom or something. But if somebody really needs one, let me know. So and we'll see what we can do. So aside from that, great figure. Even if he's not someone that you like or that you know about, just have this figure alone, you know, I'm gonna say it's a must get. So that's why he got a high rating for me. See ya.